Hello and greetings fellow StarCrafters, PGL Milncraft here with a 1 versus 1 between the red Zerg player DongRaeGu, or DRG as he is known on this particular gaming tag down here in the bottom corner, and MouzThorzain, the blue Terran, up here in the top corner. The map is Terminus RE, and this game comes from none other than the grand finals of Dreamhack Valencia. So it's the Dreamhack Invitational, and this is the one that took place in Valencia, and I mean this is the finals, and so it's definitely really exciting and should be a really terrific match. We can go ahead and talk about DongRaeGu first of all. He's on the team MVP, which very recently actually MVP has, as a team, has announced a partnership with Complexity, who's their tag, I guess, is COL with a, I think it's capital L, and then the other ones are lowercase. I always say it Colonel whenever I see it. It looks like a Colonel to me, or how you'd spell Colonel, I suppose. And Complexity is a team of primarily former Root players, like Katz is on the team, Drewby, Cruncher is on the team as well, and you know, it's a very good foreign team. I would say probably not as good as like Evil Geniuses, for example, but very good, you know, foreigner as a non-Korean team. And they did announce a partnership with MVP. MVP is a very good team primarily because of this guy right here, DongRaeGu, who they use as their anchor and has been incredibly effective in the GSTL, or the Team League, in which he has actually all-killed several teams, including like 3 wins in a row, and just done a terrific job. And he did really well at MLG events. He's done really well. He's actually, because he did so well in the GSL events, I believe he's in now Code S. I'm not sure if he's been knocked out yet and I also don't want to really spoil it because we're just in the middle of the season anyway. But yeah, he's a very good player and definitely looking forward to see him. He is known as somewhat as a Terran sniper, just because he's so unbelievably good at his Zerg versus Terran, and generally what his strats revolve around are getting just huge amounts of Mutalisks. He'll get like 20, 30, 40 Mutalisks, just as many as he can, get upgrades for them, and then just destroy the Terran player from within with the Mutalisks and harass, and then, you know, like, you know, bunch of Banelings and Zerglings as well. And of course I mean, that's not his only strategy, it's just one he's like best known for. You know, he uses Infestors as well, he uses Ultra, you know, like he uses all sorts of different strategies. Looks like the drone scout is going to spot exactly where Thorzain's base is, being the 4-player map of Terminus RE. You don't always know exactly where your opponent's spawning. They can spawn anywhere. Looks like we see a 1-Rax gasless fast expand for MouzThorzain, as well as a hatchery first for DongRaeGu. So looks like both players are in fact going for the heavy economic openings. Not the biggest surprise, since they are in fact cross spawns in this, you know, absolutely gigantic map. And yeah, look at that. See, the scout went the wrong way first, but he doesn't even get to the hatchery in time to build like a bunker there. And I'm not sure exactly when he sent that scout, but I mean, it's a very long map and it's very difficult to attack across it early. Of course, you know, Terrans could always proxy barracks, but it's no surprise to me that they're going for a heavy economic build in this particular situation. We see double gas after this from MouzThorzain, as well as a single gas from DongRaeGu. That's going to be for Zergling speed, which will be coming up very shortly. But that means that Thorzain is going to be wanting to tech up relatively quickly. I would imagine as soon as he gets to 100 gas that we should see a factory going down. We also have a couple of Marines. I believe actually a couple of Marines are rallied down, so he is going to try to be a little bit aggressive. It's not going to kill DongRaeGu by any means. It's just to cause him to build a couple more Zerglings, cause, you know, maybe hopefully get like a couple Zergling kills or like a drone kill or something. But you can see, I guess he's just trying to be careful. He just wants to poke out, make sure he takes control of the watchtowers, has good vision and map control early on, and can, you know, just a little bit of a threat and keep DongRaeGu off of his toes and that sort of thing. We do see a spine crawler going down, very standard, as since DongRaeGu, I don't believe he did not see any of Thorzain's base, so he doesn't know if he's going Reactor Hellions or not. And if you don't have that spine crawler up and he's going Reactor Hellions, then it becomes very difficult to hold off that sort of an attack. Notably, though, we see DongRaeGu is actually getting 6 roaches with a very early roach warren, so he's probably going to actually try to apply at least a little bit of pressure with those roaches. I'm not sure exactly how successful it's going to be. I don't think that Thorzain has a bunker built within his base. In fact, he does not. He is getting a second factory, however, which tells me that he's going to be going for two factory Hellions. I would say he's getting a tech lab. He's going to get a tech lab on one. Ooh, he's getting a starport as well, huh? Alright, well, we're going to have to see exactly what he does with that. Looks like that Zergling did, in fact, get taken out by that Marine right there. He has built a decent amount of Marines. Now, I think DongRaeGu is actually going to slide out of vision Yes, he is out of vision of that other watchtower. DongRaeGu is gonna just light up that one just a little bit and hopefully try to ambush these Marines. The Marines are going to spot those roaches though, and he's going to head on back. Most likely he will also be building a... Ooh, he might actually take a couple of hits there from these roaches. And as you can see, ooh, wow, the roaches are actually blocking the escape route for the Marines. So the Marines are going to have a lot of trouble getting home right now. But you could see he actually delayed Zergling's speed so that he could get roaches earlier, which is exceedingly rare for a player to do, which is probably throwing Thorzain off just a little bit, and he's actually getting a siege tank off of the tech lab. He's brought some SCVs down to repair, and he's able to snipe a SCV right there on that expansion right now, and that means that Thorzain's not going to be able to take the expansion. Thorzain does have a bunker going up that's going to help immensely in the defense here. As soon as it finishes, you'll be able to put the Marines in, and that siege tank deals a lot of damage as well. Ooh, unless those roaches are actually able to bust in. In fact, they are able to bust in. He does not want to be taking damage on that siege tank. He actually should have been controlling that just a little bit better. And these Marines are going to have to move in. He does have the bunker there, though. The roaches will not be able to approach that bunker as long as there's Marines in it. They're not enough in number. It looks like he's going to try to snipe as many SCVs as possible. Looks like he has actually only got just one SCV kill so far. He's got his second SCV kill, but these roaches are falling relatively quickly. So DongRaeGu actually did take a decent amount of losses in that situation, but in the meantime, he is actually able to secure a very early third. Now, it is... well, okay, so it is the version with the rocks here, but it is Terminus RE, so it is a relatively easy to secure third. Zergs love to take thirds in those situations. There is a very newest version of this map. It's been updated for the newest GSL, which takes away these debris right here, so it's just a wall off. It makes it easier to wall off right here. It's a little bit thinner, and on top of that, there's rocks blocking the expansion. So DongRaeGu would not have been able to do this with this kind of fast roach tech. He'd have to use his roaches or his lings to be able to bust the rocks here before he could go out and take that third. But his attack did a decent amount of damage, probably not quite enough to be worth it, especially since he had to delay so much other tech and drones. And now we see that Thorzain is going to move out and try to punish him for it. It remains to be seen if he's going to be successful here. I do believe there are not too many Zerglings. How many Zerglings? We have 2 roaches and 19 Zerglings. That's actually relatively low in number considering the amount of forces that Thorzain has. He does not have stim on his Marines, which can be very helpful for DongRaeGu, but this elevator attack is going to be very effective. He's going to pick up the rest of the forces there and should be able to move in. Looks like DongRaeGu was able to spot that. He's got the Queens. The Queens should be focus firing the medevac actually, as their DPS is considerably higher against units in the air. Those Blue Flame Hellions though are dealing a lot of damage against those Zerglings. It looks like he is actually able to clean up those Zerglings, and I think that these Queens are all going to go down as well. Nice job, able to take out all 3 Queens as well as the Roach right there, and I think that the Blue Flame Hellions are going to be moving in and dealing a lot of damage. As you can see, they do 24 damage, not 19, so this is the older version of the patch. So they do kill drones in 2 hits only, and as long as he lines up a couple of clean shots against the drones, and actually if he was watching right there, the drones did line up trying to run to the expansion, so he probably could have gotten a lot of drone kills. Very nice control from Thorzain right now, dealing a lot of damage to the Zerg army, and the medevac helping immensely, able to healing up the Marines to make sure that he doesn't suffer any losses there, and picking up the Hellions to make sure he doesn't lose those as well. A Banshee is now joining him, and he has gotten Cloak, so the Banshee is going to be very effective right here. I'm not sure if there's an evolution chamber, but he does have a lair, so he will be able to morph in, help. But it looks like here's the cloned. The cloaked rather, not the cloned Banshee. The cloaked Banshee is going to be able to fire out the Queens. Where did the medevac get taken out? Looks like the medevac did in fact get taken out by the newly... Oh no, there's the medevac. So the medevac did pick up all the forces and is sailing around. We're just going to go ahead and follow that. I don't think it's going to be too effective. It might get a couple of kills across the Queen. The Overseer did in fact spawn though, so that's going to be able to take out the Cloaked Banshee, and then the rest of his forces should be able to clear this up. Does finally get one last Queen kill though on those forces. And then that medevac will be in fact sniped by those Mutalics and the Queen. So that was actually that was a lot of damage dealt against DongRaeGu. Not only... Ooh, we do have a Banshee over here as well. It's already at 1 kill, looks like. Let's go to Workers Lost Cab. Alright, looks like we have... he's killed 12 workers, but a decent amount of SCVs have died as well. That was from the Roach attack. That was actually, I think, stronger than I thought it was, unless there was an attack that I missed up here during the engagement. I don't think there was, but it's very possible. It looks like the Banshee is just going to hide out back here. Hopefully the Mutalisks don't find it, because they will be able to take it out quite easily. A couple of Zerglings are going to counterattack here, but we have a strong defense from Thorzain. Very tank-heavy army, actually. So it looks like he was constantly producing tanks, but we have 3 reactor barracks on the way, which should be effective in ramping up the Marine production quite quickly, and should be able to catch up at this point in time. DongRaeGu also getting a number of Mutalisks, as well as the Mutalisk upgrade, his kind of signature unit, I suppose, and is starting his 4th as well. He wants to catch up economically as much as possible, especially since he can either guess, or does he know? I think he can. Oh, he can see the minerals being shiny right there, which indicates that someone's actually harvesting from them. So he can tell that the units are there. Looks like the Mutalisks are going to fly in here. There is one turret protecting the area, but it's kind of a shaped turret. It only faces this direction, so Mutalisks can come in from the right side and take it out. The Mutalisks are bunching up and able to take out these 2 supply depots. A scan is going to reveal the exact composition of this force, though, for Thorzain. He is now supply blocked, however, from losing that supply depot, so he's going to want to build a couple more supply depots. He does have 2 on the way, but he's actually going to need 3 to be able to build anything of consequence. I do not believe, does he have siege mode? He does have siege mode, so he has completed siege mode. He does not have combat shields nor stim, but stim is almost finished, as well as weapons level 1, so that'll help immensely with this attack. Looks like the roaches are going to move in, but 4 siege tanks will clean them up very quickly, and look at those roaches just get blasted apart right there. A couple of the Mutalisks are going to be hanging out in the corner. If we go to the units tab, we see that he's already at 16 Mutalisks, trying to catch up as quickly as possible. A couple of Marines up there are going to be taken out, but oh my god, how much life has that Mutalisk had? The Mutalisk has got 3 life. He's the luckiest Mutalisk in the world. I think he was at either 1 or 2 life before when he was being shot at. So very impressed that he was able to survive at all. And, you know, he's lucky to be alive. These reactor barracks, though, are joining the other one, so he now has 5 reactor barracks as well as a tech lab barracks, so he's going to be able to produce a ton of Marines. And I don't even know if there's even a Baneling's nest for DongRaeGu. He does not, in fact, even have a Baneling's nest at this point in time. He is entirely relying on Mutaling to be able to deal with Marines. Looks like the Mutalisks are going to take out a number of SCVs there, but they are taking some hits from the turret, dealing some extra damage to the tanks there, and losing 1. Is he going to lose 2? Nope, losing just 1 to the Marines, but dealing a decent amount of damage as well. A couple of turrets are now going to be replaced for DongRaeGu, or rather for Thorzain against DongRaeGu, in order to better deal with this. A couple of Marines are going in the back for Thorzain to help protect his backside against any sort of Muta harass, and it shows the power of Mutalisks in the situation, because Thorzain can't move out right now. He is stuck entirely within his base, and in the meantime we can see a lot of droning up going on for DongRaeGu. He's getting 2-2 melee and carapace, he's getting flyers carapace, and he's getting a hive. So definitely teching up at this point in time, using the situation to get as many drones as he can and get as strong economy as he can. Actually, I think his drone count is fairly... Oh no, it's actually pretty good. Never mind, it's 78. He just hasn't quite... I guess he just has 3 mining bases, so his saturation doesn't look that good, even though... he's 4 mining bases. His saturation doesn't look that good, even though he has a very good drone count. Yeah, part of the thing, though, is that, oh wow, in this command center, I don't think it's going to be taken out. In fact, there is a Thor right there, Thorzain with the Thor, and so that command center is not going to be taken out. Thor is quite effective against Mutalisks, especially when they group up, and especially because he does have +1 weapons right now for the Thor. Looks like Thorzain is going to move out into the front just a little bit and setting up, but looks like the Lings are going to move in and engage. I'm not sure this is a wise decision on the part of DongRaeGu. He did lose a lot of Zerglings right there at the cost of taking out a siege tank. Nice snipe on the Thor, able to take the Thor out before he was even able to fire at the Mutalisks, and I don't even think he lost a single Mutalisk in that engagement. That was a very good job on his part, and very well done. You can see he's actually already taking a 5th base. He knows exactly how to play against the Terran. Keep him bottled up with those Mutalisks, and then just fly around with your, bottle them up with the Mutalisks, and then take as many bases as possible, and it's going to be impossible for them to be able to counterattack. He's getting Infestors as well, and he's working on 3 level weapons upgrades. Oh no, those are 2 level weapons upgrades still. But he's getting Adrenal Glands for his Zerglings. He's also getting Ultralisk Cavern. So we should be seeing a bunch of Ultralisks going around. Those Ultralisks should be pretty effective, although the Marines do have 2 weapons upgrades already. So if Thorzain gets out 3 weapons upgrades, he should be good. And also, since this is the older patch, you do have to wait a full 70 seconds to be able to take out any Ultralisks. Nice snipe there. Did lose a Mutalisk, however. Mutalisks, actually, surprisingly enough, are almost the same cost as a tank as tanks only cost 50 more minerals and 25 more gas. Marines, of course, are much cheaper than Mutalisks, and actually I don't think he should be moving in here. He's taking a decent amount of damage on his Mutalisks. Looks like Thorzain is going to try to slow push across the center of the map. He wants to try to take as much territory as possible, see if he can limit the amount of creep spread going across. Nice job there, taking out those creep tumors, and also just wants to make sure he's not going to be caught flat-footed. You can see the 3-level weapons upgrades are coming now, but so are the Ultralisks, as well as their armor chitinous plating, which increases their armor by 2, is going up as well. And actually, surprisingly, neither player is maxed right now, which is interesting primarily because he just has so many resources. If you look at Thorzain, actually has over 1,000 minerals and 700 gas. I would expect him to be maxed at this point in time, so it's kind of interesting that he isn't. Looks like these infestors are going to be able to catch these medevacs, and the Mutalisks will be able to take them out right there. That could be part of the reason why he's not maxed as well. Now, these infested growths are being decently effective against these forces. You can see that Thorzain is actually only bringing a couple of his tanks or forces up at a time to make sure that he doesn't actually lose too many Marines to a single fungal growth. He wants to maintain his spread as possible and basically slow push his way to victory, but that's not going to be possible with a ton of Ultralisks. 6 Ultralisks come flying through. Now, the siege tanks are dealing a lot of damage to them, but they're chewing through the siege tanks extremely quickly. The Mutalisks are going to join as well, and a lot of their damage will be absorbed by the Ultralisks as the Marines will be auto-target firing them. It looks like DongRaeGu will be able to clean up that push, and things are looking very dire for Thorzain right now. He is moving to Ghost right now and using the snipe method on top of the Mutalisks. Those ghosts should be effective against both the Ultralisks with their snipe as well as the infestors with their snipe and EMP. So very nice choice on his part, but it might be a little too late here, as it's very possible that DongRaeGu will just be able to clean this up. But no, looks like he's actually going to be going in for the kill. He's had enough of this game and wants to deal as much damage as possible. So he is going to be actually moving straight into the base. Looks like he's decided exactly against that, but Ultralisks are going to bounce around. This Ultralisk at a lonely 7 health. He is bleeding from the ears and from anything else you can think of right now, and did get taken out by that planetary fortress. Did in fact snipe that Ultralisk. Looks like the Ultralisks are going to be munching on some SCVs as well as the planetary fortress. Nice repair from Thorzain, though, is going to keep that alive. The building placement here is also preventing a number of the Ultralisks from being able to engage, but they will eventually take it out as their 2-level weapons upgrades plus their bonus damage to armor. It is going to help them in that regard. Looks like DongRaeGu is going to keep his forces moving forward. He moves the links to the back to make sure he gets the full surround, and the Ultralisks are going to munch through those Thors extremely quickly as they are almost fully upgraded. You can see 3-3 weapons coming up right now. 3-3 weapons for Thorzain are only now just completing right as he GG's out of this game. Very nice job from DongRaeGu. You can see exactly why he's known as a Terran sniper, and just how effective his play can be, especially with his Mutalisks able to keep Thorzain entirely bottled up within his base, able to keep most of the drops outside of his base and prevent any sort of serious damage from occurring. That allowed him to macro up, take a huge resource, take a huge base advantage, get tons and tons of gas from all of the bases that he has, and use that gas to produce Ultralisks, heavy upgrades, and Mutalisks all at the same time. Very nice game from DongRaeGu and Thorzain. Let's move on to game number 2. This is PGL Milncraft signing off.